great news for you. So stick around and you'll see what I mean. As you can see, I have a new format of video, which is pretty interesting. So now I can kind of go back and forth, so you can see my face. Not that you really want to do that, but I have also the option of when I play a note on the guitar, it also displays on the piano, so you can see which note that is and kind of see harmony in a different perspective. And you can also see that on the fretboard, as you guys can see. So that's one upgrade in the channel. I hope you like this, because in today's video we have a lot to cover. Going back to my face here. Today I'm going to talk about improvisation in general. Okay, I'm going to just give some general tips that I'm sure that will help you if you follow them, right? So the song that we have here is Autumn Leaves. It's a well-known song. Everybody knows it. So the first thing I'll do when I'm improvising a song is, first of all, you got to have the melody down, okay? So I'm not even going to cover that right now. But if you want to improvise over some chord change, but you don't know the melody, I would not do it, okay? Why? Because you kind of have to understand the language of the song first, what the composer is trying to convey through all the notes and the melody and the feelings. So you can get really deep into this sort of thinking, but I just think it's really nice to have the melody down. So you know the melody, you're sure that you are familiar with the tune and the changes, right? So once you have the melody, learn the harmony, right? Those I'm not gonna cover in this class. I assume you already know the melody of Autumn Leaves and the harmony. If you don't, that's fine. You're gonna get some concepts regarding improvisation. So this class is not focused on the melody or the harmony of the song. Okay, but what I want to say here before we start, let me just switch over to the next scene, and I feel so important when I do that. So cool. Anyways, when you see the song right in front of you, if you know the song, you already know the key signature, you already know the time signature, and you already know the harmony, melody, and all of that. So now I really want you to think this way. You gotta be able to expand, right? And what I mean by expand is your ideas need to be need to make sense. Okay? So your ideas need to make sense. Sometimes when we are improvising, we just give up on idea. That's not what we want. Okay? So for the purpose of this video, we have to limit ourselves, okay, so we can grow and expand. And what I mean by that is this. Oh, see, I love that. So now technology is great. So when you do thumbs up like that, they will just pop up, pop on the screen. That's just crazy. Um, Anyways, that tried to take away my focus. You see, focus is important. Don't be like that, guys. Don't be like that. So what I'll do here, I'm gonna limit myself so I can grow. So as I was saying, so right now I'm gonna play a chorus, right? So I'll play the whole form of the song, just using the root of each chord. So it's gonna sound pretty boring, to be honest, but yes, I do that. Okay, so I'm gonna limit myself to play only on the tempo 1 of each measure, just playing the root. And then let me show you how it sounds like, so it can make sense in your head. So listen up. And it's in bossa, pretty cool. Yeah, just bass notes, just root of each chord. And you really gotta feel it, you know what I mean? Feel the notes. If you can't even sing them. So enough of that. You can just play the root notes and feel it. So you're practicing not only your skills of, having the root notes down, but also what you're practicing is your ear training, okay? Which is really important. Sometimes even more important than playing is to have your ear used to the sounds. So you can kind of like, ooh, okay, Oh, all right. So that's the movement. So you can kind of see how it's jumping, and you can see the intervals between one note to the other. So it's really good exercise, okay? So, and as you might be expecting, I'm gonna do that with the third now. Okay? So just to show you real quick and how that would sound like. Sing it. All right, cool. So if you honestly, if you think, man, I'm so bored, I cannot do this at all, we have a problem. Why? Because playing simple is difficult sometimes, right? We only want to play, the most difficult. We just want to play the crazy stuff all the time. We want to, like a lot of notes. That really is cool. I mean, I love it, right? But if you cannot get simple stuff done, that means that we have a problem. So my goal here today is to show you how we can limit ourselves so we can grow. And I promise if you stick around, you'll see how this is going to make sense at the end, okay? So the next thing, of course, I'm going to do that with the fifth. And let me show you real quick how that sounds like. Sing it. So you get the idea, right? So I know that at this point you'll be like, okay, is he gonna do that with all the intervals? Yes, I am. Yeah. So I usually do that with the 1, 3, 5, and 7. Okay. So I can really hear the intervals in my head. I can feel the changes, and I can see, like all the colors that the chords can offer. So after that, so that's my sort of warm up thing that I always do, right? So once I have that down, what I'll actually do is I'll start getting creative now. Now that I know the notes, the intervals, right? So it's a whole process. By the way, I just have to say, if you like this page, but you are not a subscriber, please do subscribe and send this video to your friends so they can like this and they can have access to this too. It really helps to support the channel, and I would appreciate if you right now, please get your phone or computer, whatever you're using, iPad, and give your like right there, okay, somewhere here, and also don't forget to subscribe. All right, so back to the video. Sometimes if we cannot visualize how the notes work within the chords, right? If we cannot feel them, we're just playing a bunch of random notes. We just don't know which interval we want to play. We don't know the sensation that they cause. When the chord being used is an A minor and you play an A, that has one effect, right? But when the chord being played is an A and you play the third, it has a totally different sensation and feeling. When you play the fifth, it has a different universe of sound. When you play the seventh, you can see that also we have this sort of open sound and more distant interval, and at the same time, pretty close, right? It's really important if you actually put this into practice, okay? Don't take it for granted. So the next step here would be we have to get creative now. So we already played, roots, third. We already played fifth. Now, oh, I forgot to demonstrate with the seventh. So this is how it would sound like, okay, just for the purpose of exercise. Again, sing it. Do, de, how that's a whole different universe of sound. So you want to explore that, really. You really want to do that, okay? Believe me. Why should you believe me? I don't know. Believe me. Just believe me. Um, anyways, now we have to get creative. And to start, this would be kind of like sort of the second level thing. We can kind of start adding rhythm to our improvisation. Meaning, we already played on the tempo one of each chord, and that's pretty annoying. Just that's just for the ear training and getting used to the sounds and sensation it causes, right? Um, but now what you really want to do is to limit yourself again by establishing, hey, maybe now I'm going to play two notes per measure. And now I'm going to play the root and the third of each chord, right? Per measure. So I'm going to play when it's A minor, I'm going to play the A and the C, right? So 1, 2, 1, 2, and then I'll do the same with the next chord. So root and third. Let's see how that sounds like. So you get the idea. So now, you have endless possibilities, okay? So what if I just played the third and the fifth now for each chord? So two beats each note, right? Each interval, and let's see how that sounds like, okay? So basically, if I have A minor, I'm going to play the third, C, and E. So when I go to D, I'm going to play F sharp and A. So I'm not playing the roots anymore. I'm not going to play the bass notes anymore. So let's hear how that sounds like. You can sing that if you want. So is that really cool? I think so, but you might be like, this is not how improvisation should sound like, right? I know, but you're building your skills to get there. You're working towards your ear training, which is the most important thing a musician can have ever, ever. I mean, if you can play scales, you have shapes, you have chords, you have everything, but you don't have a good ear, man, that's not really gonna do much for you in jazz. I have to be completely honest. Or bossa nova, really, because we have a lot of improvisation in both styles of music, right? Um, so I think you kind of get the concept here. So you want to get creative with that. So maybe now you want to try more intervals. You want to try each of them. For example, you want to play root. Switch it up. So you want to play now kind of like arpeggios vibes, right? So it would be kind of like this. Did you notice what I did at the end? I kind of was thinking of E minor 6 for the second measure of the E minor. Pretty epic. Anyways, so now let's try that out and see. So we're kind of, thinking of intervals, tools, exercises. We're not really improvising right now, but we are like building our foundation so we can be creative and improvise freely. Okay, so let's take a look. Right? So you get the idea. And always try to sing it. It's really nice when you can play a note, for example. Let's say I play an A, and you can hear the intervals before you even play them. So if I'm thinking of the root, of course it's easy because I have played it right now. So do, right? It's there. But what if I play the root and I want to hear the sound of the minor third? Do, I'm doing that with my voice, and I know that's the sound that it's gonna make. Do, see? And now what if I want the sound of the fifth? Right? What if I want the sound of the seventh? So I kind of have all those intervals internalized. So that's where I want you to be. By the way, I have a really important thing to say. I am looking to help 3 guitar players that I want to work really close with, okay? And all the classes will be live, okay? Although we are online, I'm at my house or at your house, but we're going to do this live, okay? And you have a whole website with the classes pre-recorded with all the concepts that we work in the lessons there, so you can watch and rewatch, and that's yours forever. So if you want to be part of this program, please comment down below sub 5, okay, which is a really nice thing that I will explain in the future videos. If you're a jazz musician, you should know what sub 5 is, and if you don't, you really should get into my program, okay? So again, we have done a lot, and this exercise is really helpful, so you're kind of getting the arpeggios down, and you are at the point now where you can kind of see how it sounds like. So if you see, when I did the full chord, when I played the bass, I have all the sounds in my head, and I can play all the chords for you. For example, D, do, number 1, number 3, number 5, number 7. So I have all the sounds, and if I keep changing the chords, I have them in my head. Do 1, 3, 5, 7. You see? 1, 3, 5, 7. Even the half diminished chord, which is minor 7 flat 5. Do really low 1, 3 minor third, right? And then I have the next one. Do do do. So this is the flat 5. Do 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 7th. So all those sounds. Doom 1, 3, 5, 7, dominant 7, minor 7. Okay, so you want to work on that. And if you don't know that yet, that is a problem. We have to work towards that goal. Okay, because if you only play scales, shapes, and everything else, but you don't have your training, man, I mean, you're going to be lost in gigs. So I really want to help you with that, okay? So now that you have arpeggios, we didn't talk about scales yet. I really want you to find 2 notes, maybe more. I'm going to start easy here. That sounds good with each measure. So basically, this is what you have to do. If you have A minor 7, you will be like, okay, I want to create a line, sort of like 2 notes, or if you want to do more, you can, but just be limiting yourself here, okay? So establish a goal. How many notes is it? For this purpose, I'll just do 2 notes. So I'll be like, okay, what if I do G and B for the A minor? So I kind of have this minor 7th and the 9th. I think it's gonna sound good. So, but now I'm not limiting myself rhythmically, okay? So I'm gonna start be more creative here. Okay, so, and then for the next chord, I'll actually just play the 3rd and the 5th. Okay, and guess what? For the next chord, which is the G major 7, I'll keep doing the same ones. Why? Because F sharp is the major seventh, and A is the ninth. So I'll kind of get a really good sound with that. And for the next chord, I'll be back on the G and the B. Why? Because G is the fifth and B is the major seven, right? For the next one, I'm going to go back to the F sharp and A. Why? Because F sharp is the 1 and A is the minor third, so I should be okay there. And then for the next one, which is the B7, I'm also going to be here. Why? Because F sharp is the fifth and A is the minor 7. And then finally, on the E minor, I'm just going to go back and I'll play G and B, minor third and fifth. You'll be like, Lucas, what the heck are you doing, man? Wait, I'm just using two notes that sounds good with each chord. And look how I can be free just with that idea, okay? And of course, you won't see me playing just on the tempo 1. I'm kind of going to be creative here now, okay? So we're going to start to improvise right now. So... See, I'm just playing the same thing. So before you get into the crazy stuff, you need to have that sort of sensation of like, ooh, how? Only two notes per chord, and I can do that, right? Sometimes what musicians get wrong most of the time is they start an idea, they don't finish the idea. I'm going to give the example right now, okay? So improvisation is like telling a story, right? You're basically telling a story. That's all you're doing. So if you start telling a story and then you get distracted or something happens in the middle of the story and you lose focus, your story's going to be boring. So same with improvisation. If you are improvising, out of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, but how about if I do this? And then out of a sudden you're like, oh, okay. So people that listen to your playing, they'll be like, man, I'm confused. Dude, what are you trying to say, right? So you got to be specific, very specific, and insist on a story. So I'll try to demonstrate that for you. For example. See, I mean, not always I like what I do, right? Sometimes like, ooh, so that's where, I'm going, and I just keep on going. Like you're telling a story, dude. I mean, you have people listening to you, so you cannot stop. So you really have to insist on the idea and develop the idea. Okay, sometimes we think, oh, it didn't sound the way I wanted, so I'm gonna give up on the idea. I'm just gonna jump over to something else. Just don't insist on it. Most of jazz musicians, they have said there's no wrong note. So there's no wrong note. The question should be, which feeling am I trying to convey here? So that's really important concept. Okay? This is a really long lesson. I wish I could be here for hours trying to give you methods of how you can be a better improviser, right? Today, if you thought you would get crazy things here, I just went down to the basics, okay? We really want to have a good foundation in improvisation and ear training. You will not improvise if you don't hear the sounds. Believe me, okay? I tell this by experience, and I really hope you can practice, and I hope you also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you stick around, you will see way more videos like this and some different concepts and ideas. If you have anything specific that you want to see on this channel, please comment down below, and I promise I'll get that done for you. Okay? So I'll see you in our next video. Bye-bye.